Welcome to TYT Sports. Francis Maxwell here, your World Cup soccer expert, bringing you UFC news. I know you're thinking, who the guy doesn't know fucking shit about UFC. Well, I mean, I used to be trained to be a martial arts guy once in a while, but no, sorry. No, I mean, I actually do know the sport well. I watch it quite a lot. It's one of the big. I mean, you don't even have to be a big UFC fan to know about the upset that just happened. Dillishaw versus Barao. So Dillishaw, a college wrestler, nobody. Even the commentator on his way out, the commentator said, if those of you who just tuned in, this is Dillashaw. So it's a pretty bad day when the commentator needs to reassure who you are. But no longer. This guy is going to go down in UFC history after one of the biggest upsets, potentially, of all time. Please leave your comments on that. We'll come to that later on. But so Barao, 34 or 33 fight unbeaten streak. I think the lads here told me 33, but I did do my further research and said 34. So thanks a lot, fellas, for making me look like an asshole. So with that, Barao comes into this fight. First of all, getting the shit kicked out of you 33 times and managing to go through is an unbelievable accomplishment. I mean, I know these guys are going out there to get the shit kicked out of you, but the thought of getting the shit kicked out of me once is petrifying. Anyway, so this guy, all props to him. I'm not going to sit here and rag on him how he lost his title to an underdog, but there's some clips from the game. I mean, look at that. I mean, that would send me out to sleep for weeks. I think that was the final kick in the round that was a knockout for Barao. Dillashaw there with the kick. That was, I mean, but the thing about these pundits is, I'm not saying it's a fluke. He switched from his orthodox and southpaw stance to try and keep Barao on his toes, and was always constantly throwing the jabs throughout. And then in the final round, he threw that deadly kick. Looked like something from the Karate Kid. That just managed to knock him clean out. I mean, as I said, I'm not exactly up to date with the terminology, but I do know when something looks as if it would hurt a lot, and that looked unbelievable. That has got to be a broken jaw or something. But so the thing about this fight was President Dan White of the UFC. I mean, I know who he is. He's one of the biggest names around in UFC. He came out and said that Barao is one of the greatest fighters of all time and the best in the world. So I think that must have been why Dillashaw came in. He was so pumped up from the start. If you watched it, he looked so focused, came in, and from the start, he knocked him down in the first round, and people are thinking, oh, it was a fluke, it was a fluke. Like one of the previous UFC fights that was considered the biggest upset of all time was in the first round. I think it was, who was it? It was Matt Serra, yeah, that Matt Serra versus Georges St. Pierre, and that was a first round knockout that came in. But this one, he just dominated him all the way throughout, right, fellas? I mean, he was just banging him around like constantly. I think of a few of his punches, I would have definitely just called it quits. But Barao went all the way through to the final round before getting knocked out, and so Dillashaw took it and basically just showed the world that he should be known. His name should be up there in lights, as he is one of the best fighters in the game today. As we look through if you're looking through all the commentary, they were just totally, they were amazed at how dominant it was. I think it was 10-9, 10-9, 10-9 all the way through. There was never any doubt that this guy was a better opponent, was a better fighter in this situation. So Barao, I mean, he came out at the end and admitted to defeat, admitted that the guy was better. I think we have a quote from Dillashaw that he talked about how he obviously praised Barao as one of the greatest fighters of all time. I think, yeah, it is there. Best in the world. I mean, I would definitely say a guy's best in the world if I just knocked him around. What does that make him then if he was the best in the world? He must be the utmost best if he just knocked him about. And he had to bring his A game. Yes, you did, son. You absolutely brought it and more. So A+ for Dillashaw. As I said, we'll look forward to future fights, and I'll do my best to continue.
I mean, this fight, like you said, it was just dominant, and he out-strategized.
It kind of looks like me on a Saturday night. I mean, if I get into a fight, then there's just never any chance that somebody else is going to have a chance against me. I'm pretty dominant when I'm in the ring.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And he just out-strategized the entire fight. It was just he fought smarter than Barao, and it's shocking. Like you said, the 33 fight unbeaten streak, but the final sequence in that fifth round with about 40 seconds left, the fight was called. It was a technical knockout, the TKO, and it was the head kick near the fence, as they said, and then a left hook that is just terrifying. I mean, boxers, I feel, would be jealous of it. Yeah, straight out of Rocky. Rocky 4, the one that, who was in Rocky? Apollo Creed, I believe, who got killed with the left hook.
Yeah, by Ivan Drago.
Right.
I've been actually mistaken as him a while. I mean, now, some people do say a little bit like Drago. Anyway, but yeah, I totally agree. But actually, on top of that, it was the coaches. A lot of the commentators praised the fact that the coaches had Dillishaw constantly change his strategy, so that Barao had no chance of trying to. He tried to play against his opponent to try and understand what he was doing. But 1 minute he's switching from the left to the right, bang bang, you're down, and that's it. Game over for Barao. And Dillashaw, from what I've seen, could go on to be one of the greats in the game, but it's up to your opinion. Please leave your comments below.